Hello there, this is the World News at 12 on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. My name is Chioma Innocent, and here are the top stories. Supreme Court sacks Abure as Labour Party chairman. Court stops pro-Wike rally in Bayelsa State. President Tinubu's political advisor resigns, and Trump unveils first $5 million gold card visa. Details now. Thank you for staying with us. The World News at 12 begins on the foreign scene, where U.S. President Donald Trump has unveiled the first gold card, a residency permit sold for $5 million each, aboard Air Force One on Thursday, holding a prototype that bore his face and an inscription, the Trump card. The Republican president told reporters that the special visa would probably be available in less than 2 weeks. Trump previously said that sales of the new visa, a high-priced version of the traditional green card, would bring in job creators and could be used to reduce the U.S. national deficit. The billionaire, former real estate tycoon, who has made the deportation of millions of undocumented migrants a priority for his second term, said the new card would be a route to highly prized U.S. citizenship. He said in February that his administration hoped to sell maybe 1 million of the cards and did not rule out that Russian oligarchs may be eligible. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol has been removed from office after the Constitutional Court upheld his impeachment on Friday. On December 3, 2024, Yoon declared martial law during a budget dispute with the opposition, plunging the country into crisis and leading to his impeachment by parliament. Yoon justified his measure by accusing the opposition of acting against the state and being infiltrated by communists, although no evidence has been provided to support these claims. The court, in a unanimous ruling, argued that the national crisis did not justify his imposition of martial law. Likewise, Yoon violated the law when he sent soldiers to the National Assembly to prevent a lifting of martial law. He said he was sorry for failing to meet public expectations in a statement hours after the court decision. Back home in Nigeria, the Supreme Court today removed Julius Abure as the national chairman of the Labour Party. In a unanimous judgment, a 5-member panel of the Supreme Court set aside the decision of the Court of Appeal in Abuja, which had recognized Abure as the party's national chairman. The Apex Court, in its decision, held that the appellate court lacked the jurisdiction to make such a declaration, given that the substance of the case concerned the internal leadership of the party. The court emphasized that matters relating to party leadership are internal affairs over which the judiciary has no jurisdiction. The Supreme Court also noted that the appeal filed by Senator Usman and another was allowed, having been found to be meritorious. The court also observed that based on the submissions before it, Abure's tenure had already expired. Consequently, it dismissed the cross appeal filed by the Abure faction of the Labour Party. A Bayelsa State High Court sitting in Yenagoa has issued an order restraining associates of the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) Nyesom Wike from holding a mega rally in the state pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice. The High Court, presided over by Justice I.A. Ozaka, on Thursday granted the motion stopping the proposed rally, which was scheduled to hold in Yenagoa on April 12, 2025. The suit, which was filed by the State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Mr. Biriyai Dambo, a senior advocate of Nigeria, listed as first and second defendant and responded. The new associate organizers of the rally, Mr. George Turner and the FCT Minister Wike. The other defendants are the Nigerian Police Force, the Inspector General of Police, and the Commissioner of Police, Bayelsa State Police Command. The matter has been adjourned to April 11, 2025 for hearing. In a recent development, the former spokesman of the Northern Elders Forum, Dr. Hakeem Baba Ahmed, has resigned as the political advisor to President Bola Tinubu. Sources in the presidency confirmed on Thursday that Hakeem Baba Ahmed tendered his resignation about 2 weeks ago. According to the report, he did not provide details of the reason for his decision. He only stated it was on personal grounds. it is unclear whether the presidency has accepted his resignation. You will recall that Baba Ahmed was appointed special advisor on political matters in the office of the Vice President Kashim Shettima in September 2023. His role in the presidency attracted criticism at certain points, including one from the current Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale. The ruling All Progressives Congress APC has refuted claims of a rift between President Bola Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima, dismissing speculation that President Tinubu is considering a new running mate for the 2027 elections. Despite the president not formally declaring his bid for a second term, his loyalists and key party stakeholders have begun mobilizing support for his re-election. Speaking to journalists yesterday, the APC National Director of Publicity, Alhaji Bala Ibrahim, dismissed the reports as baseless. He noted that even if for any reason the president were to consider replacing the vice president, he cannot do so single-handedly, as such a decision would require extensive consultation with critical stakeholders. The ancient town of Oyo is set for the official enthronement of Oba Akim Owade I as the 46th Alaafin of Oyo on Saturday. The event has been designated to be held at different venues, including Olivet Baptist High School, where the Oyo State Governor, Engineer Sheyi Makinde, will be leading notable dignitaries, Ladibolu Grammar School, Durbar Stadium, Oba Lamidi Aderemi Mini Stadium, and the Palace of the Alaafin of Oyo. Oba Owade, who is ascending the throne of his forebears after late Oba Adeyemi joined his ancestors, completed the 21 days traditional rites on Saturday, March 29, 2025. With the completion of the traditional rites, the official coronation ceremony has been scheduled also to take place on Saturday. Notable dignitaries from all walks of lives, including traditional rulers, diplomats, and government functionaries, have been scheduled to be in attendance at the event. You're currently listening to the World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We'll take a short break and return with more news and the news analysis segment. Do stay tuned. In a recent development, Senate President Godswill Akpabio has categorically refuted claims made by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan of PDP Kogi Central, alleging that he conspired to have her assassinated. Akpabio described these allegations as malicious, false, and baseless. In a first statement released today by his special advisor on media and publicity, Eseme Eyibo, the Senate President expressed that he remains resolute despite what he labeled as a deliberate campaign of misinformation. He reaffirmed his unwavering dedication to national unity, institutional integrity, and upholding the rule of law. You're correct. This is the World News at 12. I have joining me via the telephone Mr. Awa Omiko of the Sunday Editorial Desk. He's a political, social, and national affairs analyst. Great to have you, Mr. Omiko. Good afternoon. Are you with me, Mr. Omiko? Good afternoon. Welcome to the World News at 12. Hello, Mr. Amiko. Welcome to World News at 12. Good afternoon. Can you hear me, Mr. Amiko? Good afternoon. All right, then we'll try to reach Mr. Awa Omiko one more time. We seem to be experiencing some kind of interruption. You're still tuned in to the World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. A retired Assistant Director of the Department of State Services, DSS, Dennis Amakri, has expressed reservations about the state of emergency declared in Rivers State by President Bola Tinubu. Mr. Awa Omiko, thank you for joining me on the World News at 12. Good afternoon.
Thank you. I can hear you.
Great to have you here. I want to begin, there are certain issues in the news today, but let's begin with the Supreme Court sacking Abure as Labour Party chairman. You will recall that Peter B, Alex Oti, and others constituted a caretaker committee to steer the affairs of the party after saying that the tenure of the Labour Party chairman, Julius Abure, has elapsed. Now the Supreme Court, the case was taken to the Court of Appeal, and it was also taken to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has given its judgment. That's the highest court in the land. The Labour Party is kicking against this judgment and saying that Abure remains its chairman. Where does the Labour Party go from here?
They should take a. I wonder why most of us don't always have the cost of history. They should just take a look at what happened to PDP and I think SDP and others, and take a real lesson from that. once a party starts having court cases, it begins to streamline down to party members. And before you know it, it shows that the party itself is not stagnant, it's not static, and the working systems are not strong enough. The Labour Party should adhere to what the Supreme Court has said to build integrity and to make people believe that there are parties that strongly believe in the law and the rule of law. So by saying the leadership that the chair, hello.
I'm with you, Mr. Amiko.
Yeah, by saying the expiration of the chairman, it has gone and others should let them abide by it. I don't think there's any serious thing to discuss in this, because if you begin to drag on, you are not only telling us the caliber of people that is there, you are only making us to believe that you don't believe in the nation's rule of law. And if you don't believe in the rule of law, what are you telling? What are you selling to the people? So they should rather abide by it and let peace and whosoever is God should share his thought and let the party move on. And they should know that they are in opposition. And if opposition party at this level of the nation is thinking on internal is involved with internal wrangling, I wonder how would they be able to face how would they be able to stand election and face the masses? APC is already strong, and people are now trying to say the workings of APC is not, the politics of APC is not what they want. Their policies does not have human face, and things are high, economy bad, political situation, insecurity. This is the time LP should make its house stronger, and by abiding by the rule of law, by setting its house in order, and by making sure that anything like trouble does not divide them, because they are projecting the image. And they want people to believe that they are the next party to be voted for.
But Mr. Wamiko, there are a lot of people who believe that the Labour Party is already divided along certain lines, because now we have the Abure faction, of course the Apapa and Arabambi faction, then there is the caretaker committee headed by Nenadi Usman. There is division within the Labour Party. In a recent interview, Peter Obi says he remains the leader of the party, even though there are speculations that some people do not recognize him as that way. He says if they go for any event, he will be recognized as the leader of that party. There are certain people who also believe that Abure is being used by the APC to destabilize the party. Are you one of those who actually think that way? And is it time for him to step aside and let the Labour Party be the face of labor, of the masses in Nigeria, like they set themselves up to be during and before the 2023 elections?
Look, Chairman, you see, in politics, anything could happen. In politics, anything could happen. You could remember the days of Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, blessed memory. You remember how other parties accused him of not paying tax and dragged him on and on until the party day. He didn't follow us, went other ways. It could be, you see, it's like a game of draft. Other parties will want to destabilize the workings of your parties, and you must not allow it. And when there is this criticism, this division, this internal intrigue going on, the general image is that the party is not unified, and that a party that is not unified can never stand in place of the opposition. A party that is not unified can never present one candidate, and it's a very bad market for Peter Obi. And it's going to show that Peter Obi himself has a lot of battles to fight. He's fighting internal battle to unifying the people, and he's fighting external battle. You see that he's just like a lone ranger. And I believe in me, Peter Obi is gone off LP. You will see that the party will crush like a pack of cards. So what the party needs to do, I don't want to believe that PDP or APC is the one causing their crisis. No, we can't rule that out. but they themselves should be uniformed. They should be integrated into the body politics. They shouldn't bother about what is happening. All what they should look out for is how to take over the mainstream of governance, and that is Abuja. And if they are unable to do that, they are just failures. And to me, that image, a party divided into three that can unify itself, what would they now present to Nigerians? Division in a country that is already crisis ridden? No. They should go back. Similar thing happened to UPN, APC, AC, and similar thing happened to APC, and you see how they've been able to harness it and come back to unity. And LP should copy. That is why I started my talk initially by saying people don't often fall back to history to learn from me. By the time they fall back to history and study how these parties themselves have been able to come to unity to one, they should be able to know that in politics, division, internal rigmarole has a lot to do.
Can there really be that unity within the Labour Party now, Mr. Amiko? Can that really be that unity since they've been divided for a while? They did present a united front after fielding Peter Abure as their candidate, and you could see the kind of ruckus that it caused and how they got a lot of followers then. But most of their followers have been incorporated into the obedient movement because they were part of the Labour Party, or they believed in the Labour Party because of Peter Abure. A lot of people have been telling him to leave the party. You recall that about a year ago in February 2024, Abure was arrested by the police because of he was accused of misappropriating party funds, about 3.5 billion naira. What exactly is in the chairmanship of the Labour Party that Abure will not step aside and let someone else come up to actually consolidate the party so that they can present a united front ahead of 2027?
Look, Peter Abure, as I said, Peter Abure remains a mirage. The obedient movement will fizzle up. The obedient movement, how many of them can even vote, or how many of them are going to vote? The issue remains that if the party should be unified and fight a common battle. If there's no unity, forget it. PDP is today struggling for existence. This is how we started, because there's no unity within them. Even though they claim they are one, we still have that internal rigmarole within them. I know it happens in all political parties, but that of Labour is so glaring that it gives everybody the impression that they are still not yet the party people that could stand. They are still not yet the party that could help remove APC in power, because the people are still there in terms of playing. They are just playing politics, jamboree. It's a political jamboree to some of them. Let's just go and test the waters and see how it's going to be. But that is something. The issue is that it is creating a very wrong impression to the people and making people be a lone ranger. I said it's like a hub. And before you know it, if people be crosses over to another party, the obedience will follow him. But how many obedience are going to vote? It is not just the crowd following the crowd. Are the crowd ready for you? Are the crowd there because they support you? Are the crowd there because your internal front is good? Sorry, your party is good? No. Obi, people are just going for Obi because he's an image maker. That his foundation is poor. And this was what happened before in Anambra that made what is saying, the late senator to have a Yingwe and won into the Senate. People should go back to history and learn exactly what is happening. You should remember the Anambra case versus Gigi and other things what played out. You should remember that Peter during the time of the obese in Anambra and what happened. So people should be able to come together, learn from history, and know that there is nothing. If an opposition.
Mr. Amiko, are you there? Can you hear me, Mr. Awa Omiko? All right, then I'll try to reach Mr. Awamiko one more time. You're tuned into the World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. We've been talking about the Supreme Court sacking Julius Abure as chairman of the Labour Party. We do know that a coalition is forming ahead of 2027. Mr. Amiko, welcome back.
Yes.
Welcome back. My apologies for that interruption. I want to talk about the coalition that Atiku announced a few weeks ago. During his media appearance a few days ago, Peter Obi spoke about how there is no deal yet, but that consultations are still ongoing, and he's not consulting independently. He's consulting with the Labour Party. Seeing as they have this and Peter Obi also debunked the fact that there is a crisis in the party. He's saying that it's just speculations and rumors. There is no crisis within the Labour Party. With this newest development, how can they fare in the coalition?
A Labour Party, if you want me to talk based on the headship, I'd rather say Labour Party is just an extension of PDP. Because Obi and Atiku are best of friends. And Obi and Atiku can never work. Because Obi may not want to be the vice to Atiku. Neither will Atiku want to be the vice to Obi. So both of them are captains of themselves. So you can see that link, that marriage will never work. And what they will only try to do is maybe to see how we can trade membership, which is possible because in Nigeria, ideology is dead. What reigns in Nigeria now is money politics. So if Atiku can find its way to Labour Party and make some of the big wigs come over.
You want Atiku to move over to the Labour Party, Mr. Omiko?
No, I didn't say that. I mean, if he can have his way into Labour Party to head on the eggheads, to head on those people that can move, that has been helping the obedient crossover. It's going to be good for him because it's going to boost the image of PDP. Because as for what it is playing out, Labour Party has no tomorrow and no place in government. Labour Party is like a shadow in the pan for what is happening now. Because from all presentations, all what they are telling to the world, they are telling the world that they cannot manage their homes. And any party that cannot manage its own can never manage the affairs of the nation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Omiko. I want to move on to another issue of the Bayelsa State High Court sitting in Yenagoa issuing an order restraining associates or friends or anyone who is affiliated with the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, from holding a mega rally in the state, that's in Bayelsa State, until a motion is determined on that. It's been adjourned to April 11, 2025. Now, you recall that the Bayelsa State Governor, Duye Diri, came out to warn against any pro-Wike rally in the state. Wike responded after the governor said, he does not want a breakdown of law and order. He doesn't want what's happening in Rivers State to filter in to Bayelsa State. But here is the question. Is it that Wike is seeking some sort of relevance, even though we know he's not the one that organized this rally, but he's in the know about it? He knows about it, right? If the governor doesn't want this to happen, if the court is stopping this, why not Wike tell the person who's trying to organize this mega rally, if you want to appreciate me, you can appreciate me in another way? Is Wike trying to seek relevance in the states of the nation with all of these rallies? Is he trying to become more popular than he already is?
Wike is a troublemaker. And Wike is a fighter. And Wike is headstrong. And Wike can sponsor everything. Remember, he came out to say that if you mingle in his affairs, in the affairs of Rivers State, that any state government that mingles in the affairs of Rivers State, he will create crisis in that state.
That I will put fire in your states.
Yeah. Is that not larger than life statement? Then, if a sitting minister could come out to say that, then you should imagine what he could do. It's not far from the truth to say he must actually have the hand in what is happening in other states too. And these are people that are loyalists to him. They actually want to make the world or Nigeria believe that Wike is very, very powerful. But as I said, if you can go back to read the Animal Farm, you discover that the same mechanism that sets him up will be the same mechanism that will consume him if care is not taken. Wike should not be should not be bigger than the law. Wike should not be bigger than the federal government. They should come together and let Rivers State be a governable state. And one thing our politicians does not know is that some of our politicians do not know is that their actions, inactions and inactions contributes to the development and the destruction of the economy and the state. And when you start doing this, what are you saying you are the enemy of the people or you are a friend to the people? No. Power is transient. And the earlier they learn of that, the better for them. Thank you.
But with this rally, right, I did ask a question about relevance and if he's trying to become more popular. Would you say that this is him trying to position himself strategically ahead of 2027? Maybe he plans to run for a very important position ahead of 2027 and wants the people to see him as, like you said, very powerful.
Yes, there are no two ways about it. He has even tried it once and he failed. Why do you choose to be economical with your words? He wants to be the president or preparing his way to having a place in to occupying the number one seat in Abuja. Yes, that is just his aim. And he wants
but he has the right, Mr. Omiko. Of course, every other Nigerian has the right to vote for whomever they want, but he has the right. Don't you foresee Wike as Nigeria's president?
I don't. And with what he has presented today, I don't. He will never make it.
He will never make it. All right, because of our time, let's quickly talk about the president's political advisor resigning. And according to sources in the presidency, which confirmed this on Thursday, they're saying that he's tendered his resignation for about 2 weeks now. I mean, the president's political advisor has resigned for about 2 weeks and he's just getting into the media right now. It is still unclear whether the presidency has accepted his resignation, but one cannot help but think about it and speculate on what could be the reason for his resignation. Now, I want you to recall that at a certain point, his role in the presidency attracted criticism. He was also even criticized by the current Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawalle. Matawalle appeared to have taken aim at him when he said northern appointees must not remain silent in the face of intimidation or misrepresentation of the Tinubu administration. This was after Hakim Baba Ahmed criticized Matawale's dismissal of the Northern Elders Forum as a political paperweight. Now, the minister was actually reacting to the group's statement that the North made a mistake voting for President Tinubu in 2023. We do know that there's been dissent. There's been some kind of negative sentiment from the North towards the president ahead of 2027. Would you say that's the reason why his political advisor resigned? He was former spokesperson of the Northern Elders Forum. Mr. Amiko, can you hear me? Mr. Amiko, are you there? All right, we seem to be experiencing interruptions, but right now we're talking about the resignation of the President Tinubu's political advisor, Dr. Hakim Baba Ahmed, and trying to understand the reason why he resigned. Like I said, we know that there's been dissent in the North towards the president. Mr. Amiko, welcome back. Welcome back. I do apologize for the interruptions. Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Hello?
I can hear you, Mr. Amiko. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you now.
Good.
Yes.
I'm saying the president's political advisor has resigned, right? And he was the former spokesperson of the Northern Elders Forum. Do you think his resignation is coming on the heels of the negative, would I say, the dissenting voices that has been coming from the North towards the presidency in recent times?
And you see, there's a way the Northerners behave. The Northerners are as divided as the fingers, but as united as the hand. And no matter what, they see they have a common goal and a common policy. If you're looking at what is happening currently in the government, there may be the likelihood of a third wave coming up. When I mean a third wave, maybe another party coming up on the ground. And once this party comes up and they feel that, look, what is the sense of staying here when I'm no longer relevant, or when my usefulness there will be better than here? Why would I go? So it is possible. We can begin to look at it from that way. And we can equally begin to look at it from the internal crisis, internal disobedience or disloyalty within the Mr. President's cabinet. because kitchen cabinet, because the people there might begin to know some animosity of the economy not working and things not working. And some of us and some of them may be presenting to us lies whereas within there's something going on which they are yet to tell us. But I know as time and as things unveil, we know better. I don't want to preempt any situation because we're still going to know better why that resignation took place and why it was wholeheartedly accepted. Because most times when a political advisor leaves, the president may begin to say, no, we don't have to do this way. But why is this one just welcomed with open hands? Which means something must be going underground, which is yet to know, which spies are yet to uncover. And I believe in no time we're going to get to the roots.
Mr. Amiko, I must thank you for joining me on the World News at 12 today. It's always a pleasure whenever we get to have these conversations. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Do have an amazing day. You have been listening to the World News at 12 right here on Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Just before we wrap up, let's take a look at the top stories again. You heard that the Supreme Court has sacked Julius Abure as Labour Party chairman. Court stops pro-Wike rally in Bayelsa State. President Tinubu's political advisor resigns and Trump unveils first $5 million gold card visa. That is a wrap on the World News at 12. My name is Chioma Innocent. Please follow our social media handles at VOP903FM. For coverage of your live event and brand news mentioned on our news bulletins, do send email to news@voiceofthepeople.ng. Good afternoon and thank you for listening.